Hi friends, I have the honor to interview Mary Barua. Mary Barua runs a center called National Center for Autism in New Delhi, and she's committed to bringing about a change in the lives of autistic kids and their families and individuals. And she does it with her team, and she is just amazing. I met her for the first time in 2000 when she came to deliver a workshop on autism in Mumbai, and I was really inspired by her work and so much of energy that she has that I went to learn from her in 2001 at her center called Action for Autism and in those days. And let's listen to her and let's see what she has to share. She is an amazing person and an amazing mother and a very lovely professional. Hi, Mary. How are
Hi, hi.
you? Mary,
I'm good.
yeah, Mary, it's an honor to interview you. It's been amazing. You know, my journey of working with autism and everything started actually by learning from you. So you are my mentor, you are my inspiration, and I'm sure it's not just for me, but for so many of us. So thank you for coming and thank you for allowing me to interview you.
My
you know.
pleasure. Thank you.
So, Mary, some few questions that I wanted to ask you were, one of the questions was, there are so many therapies that are nowadays available when a child is diagnosed with autism. Of course, parents need to undergo therapies, and those are important. But what is your viewpoint about the role of self-help skills
Right.
while therapies are on?
Um, like you said, the therapy is very important. Um, and a lot of the therapy helps develop skills that the children need right through life. But I think one of the things that happens is that parents get terribly focused on therapy, and very often therapy that is very academically oriented. So in India,
Yes.
we have this strong thing that, they have to do academics, and which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what happens in the process is uh, very often the children's everyday skills that they need are not focused on. Unless the child is somebody who naturally has or has an interest in household work and stuff like that, who will pick it up, just like some of them are interested in other things. So those kids may just do it in any case. But a vast majority of kids are not intrinsically interested in it. And I think two things that happen. One is that parents begin to think that the academic bit is the most important, so they only focus on that. The other thing is that, unfortunately, see, and this is something I mentioned somewhere else the other day, is that when you go to any of the developed nations, you will find that people like our children, the kids there, they are amazing around the house. They fix their own meals, they get themselves ready, they have their bath. Many of them at a typically, if you compare at a functional level, when they started, they were perhaps not as high as some of our kids. And yet, when you look at them later on, they are doing way, way more. And that is because in most developed countries, people do not look down on household work or any kind of labor. It's not looked in India. We have had a very strong caste system, and I won't say we still do, which creates this negative thing of anything where you have to do things yourself. So you will have kids who have finished their school and done pretty well. They still have difficulty in pouring themselves a glass of water and getting themselves from the kitchen, right? They don't even know how to make themselves a simple cup of tea.
Or even wearing
And
their own
or
clothes?
wear their clothes. They
Yeah,
don't know how to, yeah, they don't know how to select their own clothes,
yes.
right? They don't know how to bathe themselves. There are actually cooking. So yeah, most men in our family don't cook in any case, right? And which is a terrible thing. A lot of them are finding out during lockdown or are not being very nice to their wives. But the point is that most people with autism who are doing well academically, I know not most, I know quite a few who do not know how to bathe themselves or shampoo their own hair, even simple things like that. And we have this thing that our children, and especially if they're boys, and mostly most people with autism are boys, they have to be little princelings in the house. Everything will be done for them and they will not do anything.
Yeah.
And I really think that it is important for parents to focus on this, give it as much focus as academics. Because even if your kid has not finished school, because after finishing school, many of them are not going to be able to go to college in any case, right? But even if they haven't completed, got the high school cert, if they get it, great. But even if they haven't got it, if they have other skills, they can get themselves reasonably good jobs out there. We've seen that. We've seen kids who are much more functionally able, not able to take a job, hold a job, and yet others who have not done any academics but are better in these everyday living skills who are now employed.
Yeah. But Mary, parents tell me, there's so much, we don't have time. There's this class, there's that therapy, there's school, we don't know how to manage. So anything that you
Yeah.
can suggest that
So I will say cut down on the therapy. You don't have to do that much of therapy.
every day, 2 hours,
Yeah.
2-3 hours, they're
And,
going.
and no, I think it's a good idea to tell parents. I really believe in data, to tell parents to put down a date, write down all the skills the child is able to do. And after 3 months, write down what the individual is able to do. If after so much of intensive therapy, there is no significant change, where is the therapy really getting you?
Yeah,
Because sometimes a lot of them go to therapy and they're not doing anything, they're just occupied for a few hours. Now, if the parents are only looking at that, that's fine. But if they're thinking of them learning, then you want to check it out and see, are they really learning? But if your aim is just to get them out of your hair, that's a different matter. But if you really want them to be learning, write down how many words the child says, how they communicate, what are their independent skills, what are they able to do. And after 3 months, see, again, make a list. Don't look at the first list. Just make your list and then look at the two and see the difference.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point.